Sarah Hossel with Rhinebeck School of Music, and in this video we're going to talk about how to practice and learn all 5 patterns of your minor pentatonic scale. So, because there are 5 notes in a pentatonic scale, you're going to start each pattern starting on each note from the scale. So that means you have a pattern that starts on the root, you have a pattern that starts on the minor third, a pattern that starts on the 4th, a pattern that starts on the 5th, and a pattern that starts on the minor 7th of the scale. And these create little box shapes across the neck that are easy to memorize. So today we're going to learn these in the key of A. So A, C, D, E, G. We're going to learn how to find that all over the fretboard. But you can play these in any key. And the cool thing is, if you learn these in one key, it's easy to transpose it to another key because it's always the same 5 patterns or shapes, and they're always in the same order from where you start. So I'm going to tab all these out for patrons so that you have the complete set of these in the key of A. So here is my A note here on the 5th fret. That's the root of my pattern, and the notes I'm going to play are A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. Fret-wise, that's 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. But you really do want to say the notes as you play them because this is part of your fretboard memorization. And if you can't memorize all the notes, at least know where your roots of your pattern are. I have an A here on the 5th fret of the top string. I have an A here on the 7th fret of the D. And I have an A here on the E string 5th fret. So I have 3 roots within that scale pattern. So now the next note of the scale is C. So here's my C on the 8th fret, right? So my next pattern, my second pattern, and I believe this is the hardest one to memorize, at least for my students, because it's a little bit asymmetrical. It doesn't line up very nicely. It's a little jagged. So fret-wise, this is going to go 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 8, 10, 8, 10, and then back. So a word about fingerings. Most blues players typically play their pointer and their ring finger, reach out with the pinky. Some players reach further with their ring finger and then use their middle finger to do these. I personally learned all this stuff using like the first pattern, pointer to pinky, pointer to ring, pointer to ring, pointer to ring, pointer to pinky, pointer to pinky. And the rule of fingering in my mind is this. So if you start on a note and you go 1 fret over, you want to use your middle finger. If you go 2 frets over, you want to use your ring finger. If you're stretching further than that, that's where your pinky comes in. Some people play these with different fingerings. For example, this next one, the second pattern, I play pointer, ring, pointer, pinky, pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, ring. But some people play it middle, pinky, pointer, pinky. So it really depends on, I think, what you're playing exactly. But if you're practicing it, just keep fingerings in mind. The notes on the second pattern are going to be C, D, E, G, A. Here's my root here. A, C, D, E, G, A. Here's another root, C, D. So that's pattern number 2. So now the third note of the scale is the D note. And my D note is up here on the 10th fret. So that's where we're going to start pattern number 3. So fret-wise, this is going to go 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, and then back. And notice for these, I'm using pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, ring. Then I do pointer, pinky for the bigger stretches, back to pointer, ring, and then I come back. So the notes that you're playing are D, E, G, A. Here's a root. C, D, E, G, A. Here's a root. C, D, E. So that's my third pattern. Now I'm going on to my 4th, which starts on the E note, the next note of the scale. So fret-wise, I'm going to go 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, 12, 15, and then come back. So notice I used my pointer, pinky, pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, ring, pointer, pinky. And then I went back. So note-wise, that's E, G, A, C. So here's a root here. D, E, G, A. Here's a root here. C, D, E, G. So my last one, you can play it all the way up here on the 15th fret, but I'm going to bring it down to the G here. Right, that's the next note of the scale. So on the 3rd fret of the top string. So what I have fret-wise is 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, and then I come back. Note-wise, that's G, A, C, D. So here's a root here. E, G, A. Here's another root. C, D, E, G, and another root here. Fingering-wise, I'm going to go pointer, ring, pointer, ring. Pointer, pinky, pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, and then I'm gonna. So even this this pattern, this 4th pattern that I started on E, you can also play that on the open E here in an open position. And it's kind of fun to learn your patterns in an open position because that gives you like. You can do little things in the open position with the open strings. That's fun. So if you want to learn the 4th pattern there, you start on E and you have 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 3, 0, 3, and that would be your open position. So that's all 5 in the key of A. So to translate this into another key or transpose this into another key, like say I wanted to do these in the key of E, right? So I have this open E string here, and I can start my first pattern off of that, which would be 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, and then back. So that's E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G. Now where that one leaves off, on the G, that's the next note on my scale. So my second pattern would be 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, 3, 5, or G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A. Then I'm starting on the A, and I have my 3rd pattern. 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 4, 7, 5, 8, 5, 7, and then back. So you notice that like, as I'm going, they're in the same exact order, the same distances because they're the same intervals away from each other. You're just putting it in another key. So the idea is to get really good at one key. Practice it in A, practice it over, some good chord progressions in either A minor or A major, A blues stuff. And just practice it for a while so you get really comfortable with those patterns, and then you can go on to another key and another key and another key. And then there's ways that I can show you later on how to practice them in one position, meaning, so if I'm, and you can do this with the circle of fourths that we've talked about, the circle of fifths. So if I wanted to play everything in one position, say I wanted to be in this position and I'm going through the circle of fourths, like this is my A pentatonic. In that same position, this is my D pentatonic, pattern number 4. In the same position, this is my G pentatonic. And in the same position, this is my C pentatonic. So you have to get that good at it to kind of master the fretboard, master the neck, because sometimes music changes keys, or you could be playing a solo and you don't want to lose sight of where you are on the neck. Just because you started the solo in this like A pentatonic region doesn't mean that you can't go up to the 4th pattern, or even go to the open position, or you just want to be you want to just know the neck so well. So there's things that I can also give later, how to play horizontally and connect shapes horizontally, how to play the the scale on one string so that you're just kind of, moving horizontally rather than thinking of little box shapes. Learning how to combine these patterns together to create more melodic lines, how to skip patterns and practice skipping the pattern, starting in pattern 4, but then practicing going to pattern 1 and back and forth. Things like that. That'll really help you open up a little bit, because so many guitar players, they learn pattern 1 and they just neglect to learn the rest of the patterns, and they really kind of just get stuck in a rut where they're just in one position all the time, even though they're playing in different keys. So I don't want my students to do that. I want my students to expand their horizons and their minds and be able to play masterfully across the fretboard. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, visit www.rhinebeckschoolandmusic.com and subscribe. Become a patron, www.patreon.com/rhinebeckschoolofmusic. I'll see you at the next one.